Just recently we had King of the Table 13, on which on the co-main event, we had the match of Brian Shaw versus Eddie Hall. And if you watch the match, you know how disputed it looked. Like there are some people saying that Eddie hasn't done much, and that he only actually pinned Brian once, while some others are seeing that pin as a no-brainer of a giant opening at Brian's game. And therefore, they think that Brian's still very under the radar when it comes to table strength. But I disagree with that. The thing is, as much as Brian had the longer preparation, the longer arm, the stronger hand, and much else, Neil Pickup has done such a wonderful job that he taught Eddie how to use all those things that he needed exactly to pin Brian. So, by Eddie learning how to be fast, alongside being able to do a Todd roll, he has managed to pin Brian inside of straps. And probably he would again. But not just Brian, maybe Kirill, maybe Larry Wheels, maybe Leonidas. All I'm trying to say is, Eddie is not a weakling when it comes to arm wrestling. Not anymore at least. And as I was looking at my recent polls, between Kirill, Leonidas, and Khaled, the vast majority wants to see Leonidas going next against Brian. Although in the comments, there's people saying that there's no way for Brian to possibly beat any of those three names. And well, I decided to take the most voted athlete, which is Leonidas, to talk about. Let's say Brian versus Leonidas is announced. What are the odds? Well, first of all, let's start with the fact that there's a significant weight and height difference. Leonidas majorly sits around 120 kilo, while Brian's around 180 kilo to above. Leonidas has 3 right hand super matches, a win against Larry, a silver bullet against Coolboy, and a beating given by John Brzank. And we haven't really seen Leonidas doing much arm wrestling ever since his match against Devon, so there's that too. But when it comes to what would happen on the table, let's say after the ready go, Brian probably would not let Leonidas go, since he has enough grip to, and pin him outside of straps with a standard top roll. I feel like Brian could do this 3 times in a row with no problem. But if they would pull on the straps, I don't think Leonidas is as fast as Eddie. Plus, they don't have a top roll, neither all of Eddie's body weight to throw down. So probably, Leonidas could take the center table, then Brian would just open him up with side pressure. Not to talk about Brian's longer arm, which perhaps would give him the slight advantage to get Leo's wrist. You know, there's people saying that Leonidas took John's wrist, which is not correct. John felt his gas going out in a hook position, so he just gave his wrist to be in a more safe spot to then counterattack. But anyways, that's how I think the match of Brian versus Leo would be. Leonidas would try to get the straps, but would manage to, and Brian would win.